Hello and good morning, everyone. OnlyPositivity here. I have my coffee with me, ready to explore this new phase of life with you all. So over the past few years, I have gained a whole new perspective on life, and I've realized that life is too short to not be enjoying yourself while doing great things. So come along with me as I explore this new lens through fitness, photography, reading, traveling, cannabis, and much more. Looking forward to the journey, guys. And remember, only positivity. Hello and good morning, everyone. OnlyPositivity here. I have my coffee with me, ready to kick off podcast number 73 on this playlist that I'm looking to launch called Elevated Thoughts. Now, before diving into the topic for today, let's go and start with the level set. So, as I endeavor upon pursuing knowledge and life experience in this next phase of life through fitness, photography, reading, cannabis, many more things, one habit that I've really formed is traveling. So this podcast essentially goes through some of my travels as of late, taking those lessons learned and applying them going forward. Now, it's been a little bit since I put out a podcast. Recently got married, went on my honeymoon, and some of those podcasts will come soon. But I'm happy to be back. I'm very enthusiastic, and I'm going to try some new things out with the podcast and the YouTube channel. So not saying anyone's out there listening to me, but if you want to connect, if you want to hop on a podcast, feel free to reach out. And I'm always happy to connect. I'm always happy to meet new people and hear their stories. So no story for today because the whole podcast is pretty much a story. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So quick backstory. In March of 2020, I was supposed to go on my bachelor party, but then that's right when the pandemic happened and the lockdown happened, and was supposed to get married in September of 2020, but we ended up pushing our wedding off and canceling my bachelor party, and we did the whole thing again in 2021, which was a blessing in disguise because the wedding was phenomenal. I won't say too much about it because we'll go into that later. So my original plan for the bachelor party was to go to England and Amsterdam, and the buddies put together a dope-ass itinerary there, and kudos to them. But they did knock it out of the park with the bachelor party that we actually went on. Oops, excuse me. Just burped a little there. I smashed on like 2 Greek yogurts just now. So they put together an amazing weekend for me in Vegas. Now, Vegas wouldn't be my first choice, but I was definitely trying to get a little ratchet. So with the options that we had, Vegas was the best, and they knocked it out of the park. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through the entire trip day by day, list out the spots we went to, some of the shenanigans we got into, and then we'll just wrap it up after that. So let's just jump right in. So Vegas 2021, we went in late July, and we left on a Thursday. So we left on a Thursday evening. So that day, my fiance had already also gone on her bachelorette party in Key West early that morning at like 5 a.m. Our flight wasn't until the evening. So I got up early that day and really wanted to attack the day and just get a workout in prior to heading out because all the guys were coming over around 2:33. Now, I generally like to get a workout in before I head out on a trip where I know I'm not going to work out, just to mitigate some of the bullshit that's about to go down, because we're going to be drinking heavily and eating like shit for like 3 days straight. So I want to make sure I got a workout in every day that week and even the morning of the trip. But of course, right, I'm working that day through the end of the day, and I figured it was going to be a low day, just slow, nothing major happening, but of course there's a fire drill, so that kind of shits on my whole entire day. I still get up early, do my workout, so I'm glad I got that done. But I was looking forward to the guys just coming over and us leisurely having a few drinks, smoking up a little bit before we go to the airport, but they ended up happening differently, right? So you always got to adjust and always got to pivot on the fly, right? My boss had this crazy fire drill, and the other part of it was kind of my doing. What I like to do is like build people up at work and be their hype man. Like, no, you can do that. You got this, man. Don't worry. So what happens is a lot of people lean on me for advice sometimes, or they'll just want to hear an objective ear. So one of my coworkers was trying to stand up to another coworker who's kind of been bullying her, right? And so she calls me and she's like prepping her speech. She's like, I'm gonna say this and this, and does that sound good? And I'm like, girl, you got this. Fuck that shit up. Let's go, bitch. And so so I'm talking to her. I'm like, I'm just trying to like hype her up, be like, hey, look, don't say anything that's gonna like be regrettable, but go ahead and stand up for yourself, right? Things like that. So I'm hyping her up. So I got to make sure I'm there for that, there for people like that, who are kind-hearted and whatnot. So I'll hop off of that. So in any case, guys come over. They come over at like 2:30. 2:33. I go ahead and I'm still on the phone at work when they come over, let them in, and right when I get off, my buddy's like, yo, I called the Uber, he's gonna be here in 8 minutes. I'm like, fuck, dude, we haven't even turned up at all. So in any case, I get out, I roll a blunt up really quick, exponentially, shut off all the lights, turn off the air conditioning, do all that stuff, make sure we're good. And we step outside, smoke the blunt, and right when we throw the roach in the garbage, the Uber pulls up. Now, my buddy went ahead and he was bringing his golf clubs, right? Because he's been getting into golf. So he had his golf bag, a huge checked bag, and 2 other guys. We had our big bags too. So luckily this dude called an Uber X, otherwise we would have been screwed there too. So what I also had was a couple of those Serps from Sunnyside out here in Schaumburg. So what they are is these little tincture looking things. You can put them in a Sprite or like a sparkling water and just throw them back. I usually do the whole thing if I'm going on a plane. It's about 100 milligrams, which is a lot, but it really helps me just zonk out on the plane because, I just can't sleep on planes. So it helps me just, put on some music, like close my eyes. Before I know it, I'm where I need to be, right? So we get in the Uber, and it's usually only about 20 minutes if we're flying to O'Hare, or flying through O'Hare. But we're flying through Midway, which is about an hour away. So we were in the car for a long time, just doing our thing, and having a good time. We were joking around with the Uber driver. We were roasting each other. Everyone was in mode, right? Everyone's in vacation mode, ready to go. And every time we make it somewhere, I'm just surprised we make it because, we're a bunch of ingrates just like messing around, like orcs running around. So we get through security, right? We get to the airport. We get through security easily, and we meet up with a couple of my other boys who are meeting us at the airport. And they're just chilling there, having a drink at the bar, which is awesome. So I get there, and there's 4 of us chilling, right? Or 5 of us. There's 5 of us all chilling at this one spot at the bar, and there's this brown girl right next to us. She's just like by herself. And the whole time she was seeming like, pretty chill. Like she just seemed like, a typical brown chick, like Indian girl. And but out of nowhere she starts like looking us up and down. I don't know what it was, not in a bad way, right? She looks like a typical like fuck girl, dude. So in any case, she randomly starts freaking out. She goes, bro, what'd you do to my car? And she like picks up her phone and starts screaming into her phone. And she's like, bro, what'd you do to my car? She starts screaming, making a scene next to us, right? And, I might have been just turned up, but it was so harsh the way she was screaming in the airport. The bartender had to come over and be like, yo, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, you're causing a scene out here. She just kind of stormed off. So that was a good start to the trip. But it was interesting that, like, the scene was made that way, right? She just like lost it, but the whole time we were there for 30 minutes, she didn't say a single word. So it was interesting, right? But in any case, we get on the plane, and we flew Southwest, and I usually always have a good experience with Southwest. It's the planes are clean, the open seating is fine with me, and the flights are a little bit more expensive, but it's totally worth it because I never have gotten a delay with Southwest or a cancellation or anything like that. So I fly Southwest when I can, but they usually don't fly out of O'Hare. So they recently started doing that. So if I want to go to Midway, I'll fly Southwest, but it's a little bit far for me now, so I usually fly something else. But in any case, I put some music on, close my eyes, and I zonk out for the flight. I know the guys are taking pictures of me while I'm sleeping because they sent them to me, and they're just like messing with me, right? And I woke up. And for some reason, it was like my eyes were looking in 2 different directions. I was like cross-eyed, man. I was like, what is going on here? Like, they were taking pictures of me, showing it to me. I'm like, dude, I'm like cross-eyed. I'm like that dude from Mr. Deeds, bro. But in any case, that was just an astute observation on my part. So we get off the plane. We head to baggage claim, right? So my buddies checked in a bunch of bags. One had liquor in it, right? Because liquor is really expensive out in Vegas. So they brought some, checked the bag, and my buddy got his golf clubs as well. And kudos to him for carrying those golf clubs in addition to his checked bag, because both your hands are occupied at that point, and he was doing it like a champ. So we get there, we go down the escalators, and there's this dude with an iPad with my name on it, right? And I'm like, hell yeah, dude, let's go. So we wait for a baggage claim, and we get our bags, we head outside, and there's an Escalade limo waiting for us. Sick. The thing is awesome. So my buddy is putting our bags on the back. He opens up the trunk and like rips off the handle of the trunk, and I'm just like, all right, here we go. But the driver's like, yo, that shit happens all the time, don't worry. So the limo was dope. They had a bottle of champagne in there waiting for us, and it was fun. It was a great way to start the trip. So what we do first is we're discussing, should we go eat something first, or should we go check into the hotel first? So we end up deciding to check into the hotel first. So we're staying at the Luxor, and it's the building that looks like a pyramid. It has a bright beam coming off of it. And it's really nice. Someone told me while we were in Vegas it's awesome that you guys are staying at the Luxor, because it's that one with a bright beam shooting out of it. And if you ever get lost, you can just head right back there. And I'm like, I personally don't need that beam to guide me back, but I'm sure, someone in Vegas has used that beam to get back to where they're staying, and the Luxor is great. It's not the nicest place, right, in Vegas, but it's one of the nicer ones. I've stayed at Mandalay Bay before, which is really nice. So coming from that to Luxor was a slight downgrade, but we get to the room and we have an amazing suite, right? There's a bedroom, a living room area, and then a master suite where I got to stay with my own master bathroom. So the boys really pulled out all the stops, and I was super appreciative once I got in the room. So after that, my buddies, they busted out the bottles of liquor that they had bought, and we just had a few drinks, right? So we start getting ready, we start easing out, we get a little food from the lobby area, a couple just like pizzas, and then we're getting ready to go out for the night. And since it's already late, it's like 11:30, and we don't have reservations at a club or anything like that, we end up going to a cigar and whiskey lounge called Davidoff of Geneva. So that's Davidoff of Geneva, and a super classy joint, not too big, but it's a whiskey lounge. I love the whiskey lounge, cigar lounge vibe, because you can sit, have a few drinks, and chat. The music's not too loud, and I don't get to see my boys all the time, so I'm trying to catch up with them, right? I'm not really like a cigar smoker by any means. Like, I'll do it if I'm around people that are doing it like once every few months, maybe, but it's not really my thing. But I do like the vibe in there, right? Everything's wooded out. There's nice leather couches. It's just a vibe all around, right? I get a couple gin-based cocktails, and when I'm on vacation, I love trying like the local cocktails. Generally, I drink like a gin and club soda with a lime, but when I'm on vacation, I love to try out the local flavors of things. So we get back to the hotel at about 2 a.m. and we stay up for another hour and a half, right? Just like chilling, catching up, talking, drinking a little bit more. We probably pass out around 3:30 a.m. So that takes us to the end of the first day, right? That's our travel day, our first night there, nothing too major. So day 2 arrives, and my buddy called me the week before and was like, hey dude, would you want to golf in Vegas? And I'm like, yo, I've never been on a golf course in my whole life, but let's go, dude. You know what I mean? It's my bachelor party. I'm down to do anything. So my buddy gets us all up at 5 a.m. Mind you, we've gone to sleep at 3:30, and we get up at 5. An hour and a half later, we get ready. We all rally, shower up real quick, wash our faces, put our golf clothes on. I got a tight-ass outfit on, literally a very tight outfit, short shorts, tight polo. I got a nice hat on, got my white golfing glove on and shit, and I got my sunglasses. We ready to go. So we go to Wild Horse Golf Club in Vegas. Wild Horse Golf Club, a great property. I mean, I don't know much about golf courses, but it was really nice out there. I loved it. Everyone was hospitable. Right away, they knew we were on a bachelor party. They're like, all right, we're gonna let a bunch of people go in front of you because you guys are probably gonna be fucking around the whole time. So it was beautiful. We had a 6 a.m. tee time, and I was ready to go. And what I didn't realize was that most people are turned up on the golf course, right? Everyone's progressively getting more and more turned as the day goes on, as the morning goes on, and that is a dope vibe, right? So in any case, we get a bunch of Bloody Marys, right? And if I take a sip of someone's Bloody Mary in the morning, I'll be like, yo, fuck this thing, dude. What is this? It got like spice in there. It's got some like tagine or some shit. But when I had a couple Bloody Marys that morning, it brought me back to life. It was awesome. So I think that's a good morning drink if you're on vacation, you're trying to go that route. But we pick up a bunch of Bloody Marys and a bunch of White Claws, and we just kind of head out. And let as many people in front of us as we can. And they were all such good sports about it. They were like, tapping us on the shoulder, bumping us, just saying, hey, dude, have some fun today. Today's your day, all that stuff. And the golf course employees all came together just to make sure we were constantly having a good time, which I could really appreciate. And, in the Vegas heat, drinking for 4 hours in the morning is like a workout, right? It's like a taxing workout. But we were out there at 6 a.m. At one point, the weather app on my phone hit like 1:15, and it was scorching. But we were all rallying. We were all about face. I was with the boys. I was having a good time. And I'm very new to golf, so this is all very like layman's terms for golfers. But we were playing in a way called best ball. Right? So what that means is whoever hits the ball closest to the hole, that's where we all play from, right? And I'm all about that shit because it becomes less of a competition, because if I were to compete with the guys playing golf, it wouldn't be fun, right? Because I suck at golf, but because we're playing best ball, there's an incentive as a team for us all to play well together, right? So one thing that I find so satisfying is when you catch the ball well. So I smacked a couple good balls, and that like pop when you hit a ball well is extremely satisfying. And I also shanked so many into the pond, just like off into the green, off into the woods and shit like that. So I think it was like 50-50 on good shots and bad shots, if I'm being honest. But as the morning goes on, you don't realize how turnt you're getting on the golf course, right? You're getting more and more turnt, and we're being idiots with the golf course. At one point, we're driving backwards on the golf course, not in reverse, but we're going the wrong way, and everyone behind us is like, yo, what the fuck are you guys doing? And I'm just like, oh shit, flip this bitch around, let's go back, But, finally, right, after 4 hours, we get done, everyone is burnt, everyone's turned up, we go back to the Luxor, and my buddy doesn't have his phone. And, that's kind of a fear on a trip, right? You lose your phone, but it's okay. He was about face about it. He pulled up his computer. He looked up where it was, and we saw that it was somewhere on the golf course. So we're about to head over to this buffet, right, at the Wynn, and we'll go into that in a second. But we have to go back to the golf course and get it. So what we do is it's like shit happens, man. We're all about face. We're not about to fuck the vibe up here. So what we do is we go back to the golf course, and another couple buddies go to the buffet and, set it down. So just to make sure we don't miss our reservation. So we go over to the golf course, right? And it turns out it's not at the clubhouse or anything like that. We go there, and the lady goes, yeah, your phone was left on hole 14, right by the hole. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Anyway, I was like, you left your phone and your dignity out on hole 14, my guy. But anyway, right, when you're with the boys, some shit is always bound to go down. So in any case, we wrap that up, and we go to the Wynn for a lunch buffet. Great lunch buffet, right? Not like gourmet food, but probably one of the better lunch buffets out there. They got breakfast food, they got steak, they got pizza. There's like an Asian station with like pork buns and dumplings and sushi, and all the goodies, right? All the mix-ins. The Asian station was my favorite part, right? They also got a dessert station, which it was dope too. But I didn't want to hit it too hard because we were going somewhere fancier for dinner. So I want to save my appetite for that. So I just made sure I got some food in me to sustain me because I knew I had been drinking a lot and I'm going to continue to drink throughout all this time, right? So in any case, after the buffet, we head over to Planet 13. And I will say that Planet 13 is one of the craziest spots I've ever been to in my life. So it's a dispensary, but it's like a weed mall. So you go in there and it's a huge perimeter of bud tenders. There's probably like 50 or 60. And you have like a number and like they'll text you when it's your turn to go. And I've never seen like a dispensary on that level. And so the funny part of that is, right, I got there, I got some serves, I got some pre-roll joints, and I got some stuff for the flight home, right? So if we go through exactly what I got a bunch of pre-rolls, right? Because I wasn't trying to smoke too much because I tend to get a little sleepy afterwards and I'm trying to stay alive this whole time. So I get a few pre-rolls for those intermittent moments where we have a second. And I got a couple serps. Like just like when I came on the flight here, for the flight back, I just want to take a couple serps and pass out on the plane. So when we go from the Wynn to Planet 13, we were originally not going to go to Planet 13. We were going to go to another dispensary. But our Uber driver told us to go to Planet 13. And I think he was trying to compensate, like let us really know that he did us a solid by telling us to switch because one, Planet 13 was closer, so our fare was lower, and two, Planet 13 was a better dispensary in his opinion. So what he kept doing was going, "Oh my God, I lost 5 miles on you guys. Oh my goodness." And we were just like, "Yeah, thanks, dude. I really appreciate you, bro. 100%. And then the whole ride, he's like, "Oh my God, 5 miles. I lost 5 miles on you guys. Oh, look at this. Look at this." Yeah, I'm just like, dude, shut the fuck up, bro. I get it. Like, you hooked us up. We'll give you a nice review on Uber. We'll tip your ass. Just relax, dude. We got you. You know what I mean? So he was definitely like fishing for something. So in any case, we go there. Planet 13, I get my stuff. The bud tender was really nice. The one thing I'll say is that there's not like a menu you can order from. You have to tell them what you want and they like go get something to suffice or to meet your needs, right? So normally the way I go to dispensary is I select what I want online, the exact product. I go to the store, it's waiting for me. I just pay for it and I'm out, right? But here you had to tell them what you wanted. So, but anyways, it's their own way of doing it. It was great. I had the best time over there, and it was a good experience. So we end up leaving the dispensary, and we go to this spot called Pole Position Raceway. Now, Pole Position Raceway is like a go-karting spot, right? It's like K1 Sports out here in the Chicagoland area, but just like it's like a more like professional racetrack type go-karting, right? And this was so much fun. So we had 3 races in us. And that comes with a package, but there was a couple dudes who were also like racing with us that had like these GoPros on their helmets, and they were like legit drivers, right? And they were like they always had the best times, always just like weaving through us the whole time. And the first race was my best race personally, and then I felt like I got some shitty cars after that, and I was just like not doing it. But I could just be a shitty race car driver too. Now, the first thing they told us when we got there was like, do not bump into the railings or like the guard edges, and don't bump into each other. And while we're waiting in line, both of my buddies bumped me, and the guy's just like, dude, what the hell? So they let us out, and we start driving. And I'm like in the lead, so I'm trying to, not let my boys get past me. So one dude literally runs into the rail comes up onto his cart, and that's the way he got by me. And it was like the workers were like, dude, what are you guys doing? So they shut everything down, and they're like, guys, fucking relax. I'm like, all right, now we're embarrassing ourselves, but it's all good. But then we finished up our races. It was so much fun. We were just like laughing a bunch, joking a bunch, driving these cars, just kicking it. And I honestly had a blast. And it's like right up my alley of activities to do, right? Like, I'm not really into the whole like strip club thing and shit like that. I'll go to one, if like my buddies plan it. I'm not gonna be like the dude to say nah, but like I'd rather do something else, right? Some more hood rat shit with my friends. So we get done with the go-karting. We head back over to Luxor, and we're going to get ready to go out for dinner. Now, we get freshed out, we put on our good clothes, and we head over to the Strat. And the Strat is a rotating restaurant. Now, it's funny because we went to a rotating restaurant in Macau, which is like an island off of Hong Kong. And they actually had a picture of that tower in comparison to the one in Vegas. The one in Vegas is the taller one, but I would say the one in Macau is more modern and nice, right? So it's crazy that we went to both. And Macau is a very, very it's mocked just like Vegas, right? There's the same hotels, but everything's a little bit nicer out in Macau. But it was just a cool experience to have gone to both. And a lot of these pictures are on my Instagram, so feel free to check them out. Let me know. So we get up there, and the place is fancy, right? We get there a little early, so we wait at the bar. We have a few drinks, and we're just like, everyone's like having fun with us there. The folks that aren't even with us, they're gravitating toward us. We're having fun, we're laughing, we're joking, good vibes all around. I'm with the guys. We can say whatever we want to, and we're just loving it, So they have a sommelier up there as well, which is amazing. I've never met a sommelier personally, but just seeing them in their element, doing their thing with their wine. We asked them what wine would pair well with what we ordered, and he brought out a bottle, and I ordered a 22-ounce tomahawk steak, and I have to say, hands down, that was probably one of the best steaks I've ever had in my life. It was just phenomenal. It was cooked to perfection. I usually get it medium, and it was so well worth saving my appetite because that thing was 22 ounces. It was huge, but they did kind of look at me sideways when I asked for some steak sauce, and I was like, bro, come on now. Like, I'm a customer here. Give me my fucking steak sauce. But anyway, so we get down there. We're joking, man. I love having dinner with the guys and being in settings where it's a bit quieter, because it's just I don't get to hang out with my friends as much, right? Like, we're all busy with our lives, and obviously we want to turn up and go to clubs and stuff like that, but I want to sit down with them and chat, and see what's up with them and hear if they're doing well, and if their wives and whatever, everyone in their life is doing well also. I care about that stuff. So in any case, after that, we head over to Tao, right? And it was a nice surprise because I was expecting to wait in a long line, right? We're five guys, big time sausage party. We're not getting anywhere anytime soon. So I'm like, all right, let's just wait, we'll chill. I'm down. But we actually had bottle service, and we got to skip the line, which was awesome. So we get there, we get the drinks flowing, we got the Bombay flowing, you know what I mean? That's my thing. We're jumping around, we're turned up, we're listening to the music, we're on this like balcony, and it's awesome. One of my buddies actually, like, he got up early, so he fell asleep, and I was like, I don't even know how you fall asleep here. It's so fucking loud. But in any case, we turned the whole place up. We were jumping, we were kicking it. Like, there was some ASAP Ferg playing Jane, good music, and just like confetti flying everywhere. It was sick. So we get out of there at about 2:30, 3 a.m. We've been up for like 23 hours, like only an hour of sleep. So we passed out immediately when we got back. My body was aching for some sleep. So that concludes day 2 of Vegas. So now we're at day 3 here, right? So we get up the next day, like 9 a.m., and we're all pretty hungover, man. It was a long day, long night, and I guess the best way to combat that is just to kind of keep on drinking, right? I was in a little bit of pain, but we were headed to a VIP pool party at Aria, which was awesome, and I had no idea what to expect. Like, the only thing I know about those Vegas pool parties are from movies. And it's crazy, right? Like girls everywhere, people jumping off shit, like DJs, fucking doing shit all over the place. So we slide over to Aria, And immediately you can tell it's one of the nicest spots in Vegas. Like the lobby is just exquisite, modern. The pool area is pristine. Everything's great over at the Aria. They have like a Buddha sculpture in the middle of it. So we get there and we're gonna go into the pool party. And my buddy had a little mini backpack with all of our liquid IV in it, and that was keeping us alive throughout the trip. But apparently, you can't bring any like powders into that pool area, I guess because it's a drug thing. I didn't even think about that, right? So it was a kind of a buzzkill because I bought so much liquid IV, but my buddy had some back at the hotel, so we're good. So we get in there and we have our own little cabana situation, which I got to give it to my boys. Like I know that wasn't cheap, but they did it for me, right? And I love them for it. So the first thing I noticed is that there's only one pool, and it's like 3 feet deep, and I'm like, ain't nobody swimming in here. And I guess that's not the point, right? They don't want anyone to drown or anything like that. So it's very, very shallow. And it's just one not so big pool with like too many people in it, right? But it's all good. It was fun. And also there's only women that work there, like that are servers, and they're all wearing just like thongs and bikinis, right? Very, very little clothing, which is very interesting to me. And in order to have this cabana, you have to get bottle service. So, right, we start the bullshit up immediately, start like throwing back a few bottles, and slowly the characters start coming in, right? And I was just people watching, man. There's like all types of people in there. And this DJ walks in. He's got like his bleached dreads. They're like white dreads, and he starts playing music. He gets up there. Before you know it, everyone's jumping around having a good time doing their thing. The music starts playing, and this place turns into a fucking music video, dude. The pool is packed, people are getting real sloppy, and I'm here for all of it. There's a point where like you can tell when people are too drunk and they're like glazed over. There's this one dude who kept bumping into me, and before long the staff noticed it, and they like sheepdogged him towards him, and they like escorted him out so gracefully, right? So gracefully. I was like, that's a skill. There's a group of frat dudes that walk in. They start ordering all the brewskis. They start doing all the frat boy shit that you could imagine, dude, right? Bud Lights everywhere, shotgun and beers and shit. I'm like, yo, have a good time, man. There's a bunch of Jersey Shore looking dudes walking around too, right? Dudes that are like awkwardly yoked up. One of them looked just like the situation, looked like Mike the Situation. I was like, hell yeah, I'm where I need to be if that dude's in here. One funny thing happened though. So a group of girls came up to us, and they started talking to us, and I was like, cool, I'm not just gonna assume that you're trying to holler at me, like, we can talk and shit, whatever. So she starts commenting on my tattoos. I'm like, cool, for sure, like, do you have any tattoos? All good. And then my buddy who's in law enforcement that got out, right? And this chick was a public defender, and she starts fucking just going in on him. She's like saying all this shit about how like cops aren't shit, and they like, they just like arrest kids for no reason for like the conviction rate, whatever the fuck, right? And we're sitting there like, dude, this shit ain't gonna fly today. I'm like, dude, this guy's the best guy I know. I don't know what you're trying to do over here, but get the fuck out of here. Like, it seemed like you had good intentions when you came over here, but go ahead and move along, dude. Like, I'm not gonna let someone just like berate my boys right in front of me while I'm standing there. You know what I mean? So, we sent that chick on her way. And then we leave the pool party after being there for like 3-4 hours in the direct sunlight, right? And that Vegas heat is hot. So we go back to the Luxor to just get ready and shower up, and we're doing our last night's dinner, and we're going to do it big. So we head over to Chin Chin Restaurant, which is pretty much like sushi and Asian food. So we throw back a few Vegas bombs, which is funny because the people there didn't know what Vegas bombs were. And I was like, we kind of told them like what they were, then they made it for us. And, it was fun to sit around and chat again. We sat around, we talked about like what we're trying to do with our lives. We talked about, just the immediate future, how far we come, and things like that. And it was awesome. So we take a break from the loud music and just spend some quality time together, So after that, we head over to one of my favorite spots after I went to it, called Sky Bar. Now we go there for some cocktails. Again, it's a lounge, and that's my vibe, right? Everything in there is modern, dude. It's trippy in there, really classy, and I love that lounge vibe. It has a great view overlooking the strip, and they have some amazing cocktails, very classy cocktails, like similar to the Violet Hour if you've ever been there in Chicago. Just very, very classy. You can tell they use very, very fresh ingredients, lime, mint, things like that. Just really nice. And then we head back to the Luxor for a casino night. We play some craps. We played blackjack and some roulette, right? So I ended up just kind of like breaking even, coming up like $50-$60. It's all good. But it was bullshit because I played blackjack for the first time. I know how to play blackjack, but it was my first time playing at a casino. And I kid you not, there would be times where I had 20 and the dealer would have like 18, right? And he would hit and he would get 21. And I'm like, dude, fuck you, bro. Like this seems like such a scam, I've been at 19, 20 so many times just for you to get 21 on the third card. Anyway, I'm digressing over here, but that shit was wild. I couldn't help but think there was some kind of sham involved there. So anyway, we're all pretty turned at this point. It's really late, 2-3 in the morning. So we go ahead and call it a night, right? And we head into our last day, and we're flying out on Sunday. So that's we can't do too much, right? We can't hit too hard. So the last day is our spa day at the Link Hotel, and the Link is a good hotel, not the nicest one, but what I'll say is my boys got me on this. A spa day is some self-care. Everyone should do a spa day on a trip or at some point at a regular cadence, right? It's just something that you gotta do. Get a massage, go in the sauna, go in the steam room, go in the hot tub, and just relax, right? You have no idea the tension that's put on our body through work and as working out and as we make our way through life, right? So before we go in, though, you know what I'm about to do. So we stand outside, and I'm smoking a joint with my buddy because that's going to make this massage that much better. So smoke that joint, we go downstairs, get ready, and I get into my room with my masseuse, and she tries to make conversation, and I let her do it while she's setting her shit up. But as soon as she starts the massage, I'm just fucking setting the tone with silence, right? We're not talking during this. So I floated away. It was like an out-of-body experience. She hit every part of me that was tense. I came out feeling like jello, like a new man. So we all get out. We go to the sauna. We chill in there, sweat it out a little bit, sweat out the bullshit, get in the hot tub for a little bit, shower up, get nice and fresh. And we're looking for something to eat. Now, it's really crowded there. So it's like if you want to go somewhere nice, you can't really do it. So we ended up going to Tilted Kilt, which was perfect. I got a burger and a drink. We took a couple fireball shots, and we got on our way. As we go, we head out of the Link, and I smash on those 100 milligram edibles. But what happens is another party gets into our Escalade limo. And what's interesting about that is they were fucked up. We could tell they were fucked up. Not in a mean way. But they got into our limo, and the limo driver came back for us and actually got them off and whatnot. And they were actually going to the airport in their shuttle, so it wouldn't have mattered if we took theirs, but I didn't know the other one was theirs. So we get out, the thing comes back, right? The Escalade limo or whatever the fuck. So it comes back, and this drunk bitch gets out, and she looks at me because I'm standing in the front of my guy. She goes, "What's up, you rabbit-looking motherfucker?" And I go, "What? Do I look like a rabbit?" And I'm just in my mind, like, that had me perplexed because, I know she was drunk and shit like that, but I was standing around for a second because I was a little turned and, like, I was kind of stoned. And my boys were like, "Yo, come on, dude." And I was like, bro, I'm sitting here trying to figure out if I look like a fucking rabbit or not. This chick just, like, instinctively came out of the car and called me a rabbit-looking motherfucker. I'm trying to figure out if I really am. But in any case, it's all good. So we go to the airport, get on the plane, zonk out. And then before you know it, we're back at Midway, back at Chicago, and another great trip with the boys has concluded. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys are enjoying the podcast, feel free to hit me with any subscribes, likes that you feel like I'm worthy of. But other than that, I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. Again, feel free to leave me any feedback. And remember, only positivity. Thanks, guys.